and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to episode 3 of Shades of Good News. I just want to say thank you for sticking right beside me. Right beside me. Now, let's get you ready for your dose of Shades of Good News. I want to start today's episode off with a story about Chima Adina. Chima is a 23-year-old South African beauty pageant contestant, and last month she was hitting headlines, she was in the news, she was on online gossip, all because of xenophobia. She faced so much hostility when people raised questions about her nationality.
I know Chima as Nigerian.
Her and her parents had legal South African IDs.
Fraud and identity theft may have been committed by the person recorded in Home Affairs records as Chima Adina's mother.
She eventually ended up quitting the pageant because of the xenophobia and so much online attacks. South Africans had questioned her ability to actually participate in the South African pageant because she was born to a Nigerian father and a South African mother with Mozambican roots.
It all started because of my name. People were not happy that my name is Chima and I am representing South Africa. So that is where it actually really started. And people felt like, South Africans felt like I wasn't South African enough because of my name. And it was really sad to see. It was a very horrible experience, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody because I have lived there for 23 years. And it's heartbreaking to see that I wasn't welcomed and accepted.
Yeah. Okay.
Because South Africa wanted to question who she was, although she was born and raised in South Africa, they wanted to disqualify her.
It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. And there were certain things that happened behind the scene that actually made me withdraw. And it was so heartbreaking to see that I had to withdraw close to the finale. And but a decision had to be made. And it really hit social media as well.
Yeah.
And there was some statements that came out from Home Affairs with regards to my mom's ID as well, and that is still a legal matter, so I'm not going to comment on that. But what I do know is that I was born in South Africa and I am a South African.
She then was invited to participate in Miss Nigeria. Okay, let's talk about it. No, she had not been in the country for 20 years. The organizers of the Nigerian contest invited her to join their final, saying it was a chance for her to represent her father's native land on an international stage. And despite being born in South Africa, Chima shared her pride for being Nigerian.
And I'm still proudly Nigerian as well. And I was really excited to get an invitation from Silverbird to represent Nigeria in Miss Universe Nigeria. To see that they saw that potential and the love that I've received, it has been exceptional. Not only from the group, from the organization, from the girls, but from Nigeria as well and all over the world. And that's my whole
all of that, she is now Miss Nigeria.
Miss Universe Nigeria 2024 is no other than Miss Taraba.
Nigeria surrounded her with love about her Blackness, about her heritage. Although she is proudly South African, and those people wanted to take that away from her, calling her Nigerian as if that could have been a slur or a problem. Nigeria stuck right beside her. They stuck right beside her. They lifted her up. They boosted her. She is now Miss Nigeria 2024, and I'll be looking forward to seeing her represent the country on a world stage. A statue of John Lewis, the civil rights leader and congressman, is unveiled in Decatur, Georgia. And the best news is that it replaced an old KKK, white nationalist, Confederate monument. And you know, I love to see something like that torn down so that we can see something else lifted up. Okay? Blackness lifted up.
We have taken down a monument to the Confederacy in our complicated American story, and we are erecting a living tribute to the beloved community.
Lift every voice and sing.
This 12-foot bronze statue of John Lewis now sits in the spot where a controversial Confederate monument stood for more than 110 years in Decatur Square.
What was there before for over a century was a 30-foot Confederate monument created by the United Daughters of Confederacy in 1908. It featured inscriptions on all four sides celebrating the ideals of Confederacy. The inscriptions claimed that those who created the monuments were basically bearing witness to the future. But they ain't know that one day it was about to get torn down. They didn't know that one day. Listen, they didn't know that one day it was about to get torn down, though. Sorry, y'all. It's just, it tickles me.
Remove a monument to separation and replace it with one of cooperation.
It marks a shift in America, in our thinking, and what it is that we celebrate.
Georgia judge constituted that in June of 2020, that monument, the Confederate one, actually was a public nuisance, a focal point of protest and vandalism. So, get gone.
Caught up with sculptor Basil Watson, who carefully crafted this piece of art.
The strongest quality in John Lewis, which is empathy. So I've named this sculpture Empathy. Public sculpture should represent our values. And it's a magnificent honor to be part of the recognition of the changing of our values as a country, as a nation.
Remember during Donald Trump's presidency when they started taking down Confederate monuments and people took to the streets upset with their tiki torches and began to threaten lives of Black people.
Replace an old symbol of hate and division with the formidable symbol of love and unity.
We can eradicate the negative and put out positive that is attached to Black people, because Black people are not a monolith, and we also represent great things in America. So some good news coming out of Nashville, Tennessee. Now, historically, Nashville is about 200 years old. Nashville, Tennessee is like 200 years old. The Honorable Judge Stephanie J. Williams made history by becoming Nashville's first district circuit court judge that is Black and a woman.
I built my career off of, or dedicated my career off of, making sure that people had representation in our family courts at an affordable rate. So for over 10 years, I represented hundreds of families in this community with reduced rates in their family law matters. And I was absolutely thrilled and happy to be able to do that. April 2023, I was faced with the decision to resign from my job so that I could run to be the next judge of the Fourth Circuit Court. I pledged not only to be fair, but to be compassionate, because I recognize that very good people can make bad decisions, and that we should not be bound by those bad decisions, that people should be able to learn and grow and move on from those decisions and become better for themselves and for their families as a whole. And I believe that our judges should judge without judgment. And so that is what I pledge to do in this role of the Fourth Circuit Court.
We need more Black representation in the space. We need more Black women in the spaces. So I'm glad that we're able to see that, especially in our judicial system. Hey, y'all know the system is already wrecked. So having some representation in there is a good thing for us, especially. I know we're at the end of the show, but I wanted to leave you guys with some goodness. I saw this video of a woman who was practicing samba, and I love how she did her "this was me and this is me now," like her then and now. Sometimes we're so stuck on what we looked like back then at that moment that we don't even see. We can't even see the progress in the now. Take a look at this video and let it inspire you. Some of us are so worried about our past that we're not focused on the progress that we've made now. Even if that is small progress, it is some progress, which is better than no progress, okay? We're at the end of the show. Shades of good news. Black people aren't a monolith, so why should our stories be? Check me out here. These are all the ways you can support me, as well as follow me on my other channels and my other shows. I'll see you guys next week for more Shades of Good News.
Where are you going?
I'm doing video.
Oh, I'm like, girl, you already going on a date?
No, girl.